31 days.
Today is the 31st day.
We did it.
Oh, we did it 31 days of August. This is the last one. You get a weekend off.
And it wasn't easy, but it was interesting.
It was a very interesting experience to do an episode live with topics, with interesting things to say for a whole 31 days.
Yeah. And again, the whole point of this, right, is because you hear so many planners and so many people in the industry going, I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm too busy. Right. Or it's too tough to get it done. It's too this, it's too that.
Or I haven't got the equipment.
And the whole point of this was to show, no, even if you're two idiots like us, you can actually do it every single day. I was at two or three different live events that I had going on.
Yeah.
You know, we used different type of equipment and it worked. Wasn't always pretty.
No, but we did it. And looking back, some of our better episodes are the ones where we've actually had written down discussion points. So
yeah,
not a script, but something to guide the conversation. So it started somewhere and ended somewhere.
No, and that's a good point, right? So if you're at a conference or you're at an event, you're going to do like the daily update, you're actually going to have that. You're going to have your bullet points of what you're going to be talking about. And, it doesn't have to be anything long. It doesn't have to be an hour. We did a couple episodes that were 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, you could actually just base it on the conference program. The upcoming speakers today are such and such. They'll be talking about whatever it is they're going to talk about. Don't forget, you can sign up for this. I mean, yeah, you've got stuff just based on the conference event program. You can talk about stuff.
Yeah, and it's that kind of stuff is what will really it's may not resonate with the people who are actually at the conference, right? Most of them are getting breakfast, doing their thing, whatever. But if you have that hybrid audience where those people are at home, it does kind of give them the feel of the bigger event.
Or of being there. It's not exactly immersive, but if you're standing in the middle of the venue with your equipment, whether it's a mobile phone, a tablet, or somebody with a camera on their shoulder, you could just pan around saying, this is what's happening today. Look at all the stands. This is some of our exhibitors. You feel part of it more.
Yeah, well, and exhibitors and sponsors love it, right? If you come up to their booth and you're chatting them up, I mean, that's gold.
Oh, they love that. They love that. So this month, we've covered lots of various different things. And of course, we kept having Stuart Mitchell back.
Gotta love Stuart.
Stuart keeps coming back with some amazing stuff. So it was our third episode. We had him on with his guy from Intellego.
Which great product, right? And again,
so
everybody knows we don't have skin in the game on any of these.
No.
That was a quality product.
When we talk about the products and services that we've talked about, cool tools, cool services, cool things. We're not being sponsored. We just love the products, and then most 99% of the time, the products that we actually use.
So, of all of the products, I think the one I think has the most how do I want to put this? That it's the least sexy, but probably could have some of the most impact is StageTimer.io.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's a cool tool.
I mean, we're already talking about how we're incorporating it into all of our events that are coming up, right? Just the simple fact that you can have the timer going and be messaging the speakers on the stage or remotely, is phenomenal. It is cool.
StageTimer was really, really cool. And we looked at some hardware as well, like the Synco microphones.
Yeah, which still amazing little microphones for the cost, and I'll say it again, they're great for when you're broadcasting live in the morning from your conference floor, from the trade show floor, wherever it happens to be. This is not the microphone you're going to put on a speaker who's going on stage. It is not for that.
No, leave that to your AV team. They're the ones who sort that out.
Yes.
They know what they're doing. Don't start thinking. But the thing is,
leave that to me and my fellas.
yeah, I went
Actually,
to
and by fellows I mean that's all gender encompassing.
yeah. So yeah, they were really cool. I did like a test video shoot at the venue. I wanted to see what I could do with the gimbal with the microphones, and the CCT venue guys were very kind to let me go. Um, and I actually dropped one of the Synco transmitters on the floor. It's so light, it just sort of bounced and tumbled a bit, and that was it.
They float down.
Yeah, and they float down. They're so light. But the thing is, it's just clipped the transmitter on his belt, and it's had the little Pell microphone. You could hardly see it anyway, and it still looked pretty good, and the sound quality was really cool. So yeah, we like. I mean, there are other microphones very similar to the Synco. Like, was it
Rode makes some good ones.
Yeah, so but it's just the principle of miking up somebody that you're going to have, even if you're having a 5-minute chat with. Sound is everything. You've got to have good sound.
Yeah, actually, the most important part of video is audio. Look at my camera's doing it again. My camera does not like me.
No, it doesn't.
Pop-up guests.
I was going to say, speaking of audio, we should talk about the Meeting Planner Music Club. But yes, we had a pop-up guest.
We got Tess Vismail in here. And again, we tried to, without overtly saying it, these are all cool little things that you could do at an event, right? You can have, someone's walking by, pull them in if they're willing. Those can be some of the best, videos that you have are the ones that are spontaneous.
Yeah. So yeah, that sort of thing's really good. It was fun having Tess on, even if it was only like 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, right, but again, it showed the perfect pop-up, right? She came in, gave her thoughts on the topic, and then was like, "Gotta go."
Yes. Well, she said 2 minutes. I think it was 5, but it was good. Thank you very much, Tess. We really appreciate it. So we've started up the Meeting Planner Music Club.
Yeah. I used to, when that started all the way back in Planner Wire, believe it or not, those were actually my favorite posts to write, and now they're actually my favorite episodes.
Yeah,
which really cool. Well, unfortunate that they actually don't have anything to do with the industry. But
we're trying to involve people and talk about other things, because there's a lot of things happening in the industry and in the world that are not so nice. So coming together to talk about fun things and global music, it's all good. It's all good.
Nice and light.
Yeah. So as a reminder to everybody, we have done it quite most Saturdays in August, but it will be a monthly thing. So this coming Saturday won't be a music club, but it'll be there afterwards. So please come and join us on our bullet list group and chip in with your favourite tracks that we can add and just talk about and enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what else do we talk about? Humans.
Yeah, interesting way to create, avatars that actually look like the people they're supposed to represent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The diverse and inclusive, which is a really refreshing thing to see. So if you're bulk standard.
Well, and the nicest that, to have an avatar that you can create that is someone in a wheelchair, right? That has the correct skin tone. People are all different, right? And you can't.
Yeah. Well, not only correct skin tone, but also a properly suitable hairstyle that goes with it.
Oh, yeah, the wheelchair, right? If they're, age, right? You could do age in there, so people can actually see themselves in the icons that you're putting on your website or in your app.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, another cool tool we talked about was Prompt Smart. That was on August 17th, so 17th episode.
Yeah, so Prompt Smart, if you've got to use a teleprompter, which again, you've got to practice with it, but a teleprompter can do wonders for the nervous executive director who has to get up at the annual conference every year, and every year looks like they're going to have a meltdown.
But yeah, because the other cool thing about Prompt Smart was the fact that it listened in and it will scroll automatically to keep pace with you. So none of that sort of pausing as you swipe to get the next bit up.
Yeah, or the moving the papers.
Yeah. Or even taking a bunch of papers and just hitting them on the table to get them all straight, and everybody hears that, and it makes a banging noise through the microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah. And then, so August 23rd episode. Yeah, Stu Mitchell's back. So that was a really good one because we had Judith Wilson of Eventit on as well.
Yes. Scotland.
Stuart had, yes.
Great destination. Great
Brilliant destination. They're doing great stuff, Eventit. We did think Stuart might get chased around the room by the venue police at the time, but
no. Well, and then yesterday when Stuart was on, we did, that was actually a good a look at, while you're at your event, we had to punt, right? There was an audio problem with the guests we were supposed to have on. The audio problem's been fixed and they'll be on tomorrow. But it just goes to show you, okay, this isn't going to happen. We now have to do this, right? And so because we had kind of a little bit of a powwow while we were diagnosing the issue, we said, okay, if this doesn't happen, what are we going to talk about? And
we went to Plan B. We went to Plan B. Now we talked about Plan B.
Way the hell back. Contingency plans.
29. That's only a couple of days ago. It seems so far. But contingency planning for in-person events. We talked about your Plan B or Plan C if you need it. What to do with emergencies, using Evernote instead of your traditional folder that everybody's got to have a copy of. So we had a Plan B for that episode.
And you should actually have Plan C. Yeah. Even if plans like Plan A is great, Plan B should be written down, right? Plan C should be in the back of someone's head, right? If it's not something you want to go down the rabbit hole of having a Plan C, at least in your mind, say, okay, if the backup doesn't work, what are we going to do?
Yeah, and kind of make it modulus, because you don't want to, just because a speaker is unable to make it, audio issues, illness, travel problems, you don't want to sort of like reorganize the whole day. All you got to do is like, okay, we got some pre-recorded video that we can just slip in for that time, or we've actually got a guy coming in on Zoom, or there's somebody at the conference that can speak on their behalf. You can just switch things around a little bit, and then the rest of the day continues okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I told this story, but we had a client once that wanted to live stream their conference through their own website. Great.
Okay.
The collective my team went in, and we were in their website, and we were putting in the stream, getting all set up, ready to go. And we actually had concerns about the website. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, if this thing gets hit with 5,000 hits in a 5-minute period, I don't know if this website's going to be able to take it. But the client insisted it would. Even their web designer was like, I don't know, go for it, but no promises. So, but the client didn't want to have a Plan B. So we took it on ourselves to create a Plan B. We actually built their entire program in a platform, and I'll throw the name out. It was AirMeet. We put it in there and didn't even tell the client. The whole thing was in there. We were like, if this thing crashes, we have a Plan B. And we were 7 minutes in, and their whole site crashed like a house of cards.
Ooh, yeah.
And you know what? It took us about 10 minutes to move everybody over to AirMeet, and on we went.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
So that's exactly why you need a Plan B.
Yeah.
If you're doing hybrid, an easy Plan B is just to have Zoom meetings or Zoom webinar just scheduled and standing by. If you don't use them, whatever.
Yeah, but just there, just in case. It's really, really cool. So,
and then Angela, you're much too kind, saying that these episodes should be an hour, but I don't think anybody wants to listen to us prattle on for an hour.
Yeah, yeah. Who wants to listen to a couple of old white guys just spouting on about stuff that they mostly know
Yeah,
about?
who used the word prattle.
Oh dear. All right.
uh,
So,
we did. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, does that mean we got to use more hip language? I don't think I can take that.
WTF? Uh, but we did talk about some industry stuff, right? We
We
got
did, yeah.
into event tech and the mergers that.
Oh, the mergers was a good episode. I mean, there's the fallout from COVID, from, um, to put it politely, a lack of forward, what appears to be lack of forward planning from quite a few event tech companies, forcing them into redundancies and collapses and whatever.
The event tech companies, many of them have created their own pile of shit. They did it themselves. A lot of them did. Not all, but a
Yeah,
lot of them.
no, but without, yeah, as I say, it appears that they've done no sort of planning for for the return of face to face. So they're now facing a world of poo.
You can say shit. This isn't.
Okay. Well, being as you're American, you can say that a lot. I'm English, a bit more reserved, and I like to say poo.
Guys are all polite.
Yeah, we're so much more polite. Yeah, poo. Anyway, I don't want to get YouTube again.
So, and then Mike McCallan.
Oh, podcast
You,
guy.
I have talked to him. Yeah, I know Mike. I've known him for a long time. But I have talked to him on this topic of associations using podcasts, as conference content, using conference content as podcasts, do podcasting from your conference, like all of that.
Yeah.
And it shocks me how few associations do it. Like, I don't care what industry you're in, there are people out there podcasting about that industry, right? Those are perfect for broadcasting live on the show floor, doing a live broadcast from a session room. If you have if you have, I don't know, if you're in the cooking industry, right? There are 1,000,001 podcasters that have millions and millions of listeners. Let that, a keynote could be a live broadcast.
Yes. Oh, that would be so cool to actually
Yeah,
have a keynote at your conference where the audio is recorded. You don't have to do it live because you can give it to your AV team or your social media team and say, right, we need a proper beginning, proper end. You may want to break it up halfway through or turn it into a two-parter. And then you also lift out those 30 seconds of, some wonderful advice, a very important thing that the guy, or that not the guy or girl, says. You could just pull that out and use it as a clip to put on LinkedIn, put it on any social media. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a really cool thing. We'll get Mike back on again. So if anybody has a question about podcasting or podcasting at a conference or at a venue or at a meeting of some description, give us your questions in the group and we'll forward them on. We'll pick out the best ones, the ones that we got some we can talk about, and we'll put them to Mike, and we'll have an episode, like a Q&A episode.
One of the things I don't know that we really touched on, but was hotels that podcast. And, especially independent hotels and things like that. But they actually have a lot to podcast about too, if they had their own. A lot of hoteliers think very in their own little silo, right? Nothing exists off their property.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
a hotel's podcast could be all about, yes, the hotel, but it could also be about the surrounding area. Like our guest that's coming up tomorrow, has a very special destination hotel, right? A podcast for them could look like that surrounding area because the place is actually the destination. It takes a while to get there. So
This is the thing I think they miss out because they are mistakenly believing that we've got to talk about the hotel. Look at the room, look at the restaurant, look at the kitchen, look at the entrance hall, look at the person standing by the desk, look at the person on the other side of the desk, look at the desk. It's a lovely desk. What can you do when you get there? What can you see? You don't have to eat at a hotel. So what about all the good restaurants? What about the entertainment? What about the comedy club, the music venue? What can you do when you arrive at the
the
hotel?
hiking, the hiking, you have an executive chef, right, that is working on property. They could, do a monthly thing on their top dishes.
Yeah. Oh, you
I,
could talk.
the
You could interview
possibilities
this.
are endless.
You could interview the staff. Talk to some of the guests. If you've got a corporate guest, if they're coming in because there's a nearby venue that is a conference and they're using your hotel to stay at, you could talk to them, ask him, "Do you mind just coming on a podcast? We'd love to talk to you about this, that, and the other."
Yeah.
As you
And
say,
99 out
there's
of 100 will
possibilities.
say no, but number 90, one out of 100 or 99 out of 100 will say no, but that 100th person will say yes.
The thing is, that first person you ask is 1 out of 100. The next person you ask be 1 out of 50. Because once you get over that hump of doing it
Yeah.
once, you'll find it easier. Oh yeah, maybe the 1 out of 50 wasn't a really good way of putting it. But what I'm
But
saying
I
is that
got it.
once that person then talks to a friend and says, "You know what? I was on this hotel's podcast and I've really enjoyed doing it, and it's actually opened up an opportunity for me to do something. I really like the idea." And that friend will tell a friend, and then they'll want to be on the hotel's podcast.
Yes.
So word of mouth kind of thing. So yeah. Well, you
Um,
don't know till you ask. So
yeah. And then we also talked about Evernote, getting
we
rid of the
like
event
Evernote.
binder, which is something everyone's been talking about. I especially been talking about since like 2012. Um, to ditch the event binder using a tool like Evernote.
Yeah. I mean, we wax lyrical about Evernote. We love Evernote. We use it for production notes. We use it for recording stuff, organizing, whatever you want to do with Evernote, it will do it. And it's a really, really nice. Well, yeah, I like it as a tech tool. Really cool.
Yeah, and for those out there, you don't have to switch from what you're already using, right? If your organization is in Office, Microsoft Office 365, use OneNote. It's the same damn product. If you already use Notion can do the same thing. If you use Nimbus Note, great, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what you want is a collaborative tool that allows you to write and share documents. I mean, Evernote, you can drop a PDF in,
Yeah,
but the beauty of it is the fact that you write it once, then it's available to all the people that you've shared that notebook with.
Well, and we talked about making a digital hub, right? Like every conference and event needs a digital hub where people can go to one place to get links to everything else because we use so many different tools. Evernote is the
Yeah.
perfect digital hub, right? Your first note in a notebook about your conference that you have coming up can be links to absolutely everything that people need: the registration system, the website, how whatever your event management platform is, right?
Oh, and
You
and
can drop
and
Excel sheets in there. It can be the hub.
oh, and the most up to date contact details for the people who are actually running the thing.
Hmm.
As in, responsible for venue safety, name, phone number, email address. And then if that person's address ever changes, if the contact details change, instead of emailing everybody on bulk, you change it once in Evernote and everybody's got it. It's so
Yeah.
much. I mean, it's such a lovely platform to use.
Yes,
Really
and to the point, one of the comments that we have right now is Google Drive. Sure, you can absolutely use Google Drive in that way.
but
It'd
that's
be a little
more.
different. Well, you would have a doc that would be your main,
Yeah, with
where
Google
you would,
Drive, you're storing. It's a way of sharing files. With Evernote, you're sharing text.
yeah.
I
But you
think
could,
Evernote is the fancier way of doing it. Yeah.
using Drive, you could put a Google Doc in. That's the main thing in the Drive with all your links to everything, and then all of
Yeah.
the stuff that goes with it. You
But
know,
that's the principle. Upload it once, share it multiple times. So
yeah.
there's only one copy that you keep updated that everybody has access to, instead of multiple folders on shelves that people don't even know it's there or can't find it because Fred has not put it away properly. Yeah.
Well, and I know we're getting close on time, but on August 16th, we had an episode, and this is what happens when you get too busy.
Ah, yes,
And
yes.
that was actually when I was at the OLC in Rosemont. We were doing a translation event for a client. We had 5 languages going. I'll run through them again. We had Spanish, French, Portuguese, Thai, and English. And the broadcast was coming in, and we were translating and recording it for later broadcast. But that was a punt, right? That was we got on, we talked for 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and called it a day.
Yeah.
But it kept the streak going.
It did. I think that's the thing. I mean, it was really cool actually. Just while we were talking, you could hear the buzz of like all the different languages in the background, and all you were doing, you're having a really good earnest discussion. We're talking, and then all of a sudden, hold on. No, that's all right. That's fine. That was cool.
Well, on that one, so the Thai translators were actually in Thailand. They are from America.
Yeah.
So they went to Thailand to work for an NGO, and they were doing translation there. But overnight, they were logging in to do our translation, and so you'd hear pauses, and you'd be like, "Uh-oh, did they fall asleep?" Right? Because they had literally been up for like 23 hours translating, and that is one of the hardest jobs on the planet.
Yeah.
You literally for hours and hours and hours, they go 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, but your brain is having to switch languages. They get nothing but respect from me.
Yeah. One last thing that we forgot to mention. Despite the fact that we were going live every single day this month, we launched FizzPod.
We did. Oh, and that's a great way to end because we're coming up on our 30 minutes. But
yes.
So
we'll just cover that briefly. But yeah, FizzPod, this is the new little project new experiment that we're working on, where we're aggregating active, I'd like to underline active podcasts from the event industry, covering event planners, venues if they're doing one, all sorts.
Say the word, Bob. I know you're going to say the word.
What's that then?
Wedding planners.
I was trying to avoid that because I know it upsets you.
It doesn't. They're just two different silos, right?
Yeah.
Most wedding planners don't plan meetings, and meeting planners don't plan weddings. But I get it. We're all in the same. By the way, not disparaging them at all. I could not do their job. I would literally run out of the building screaming.
And considering, I mean, they're remarkable people because it's a very emotional event where everybody's got their own idea of how it should go. And because the wedding planning team is quite often one person trying to hold it all together, they are made of steel.
If it rains, which you have no control over, somebody is still going to be looking to take it out on someone. And it is typically the wedding planner.
Yeah, as I say. The nerves of steel and tranquilizers.
I would be the person going, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Where corporate events and meetings, they're one is run on emotion, one is run on more budget, right? Yes, there are emotions in the moment. With a corporate event, but typically, if you can get past a hiccup, everybody pats each other on the back and says, well done, and you move on.
Anyway,
different breed.
But anyway, FizzPod, we launched fizzpod.com. Please go and have a look. We want your feedback because it is an experiment. We're trying it out. We want to know what people would like out of it.
Yes. And then I
think I'm tracking 126 active podcasts, something like that.
And one of them is ours.
Yeah, that's really cool. And because we've been doing the whole of August, you keep saying you see a whole bunch of like Business 360, the bullet list, somebody else, the bullet list, somebody else, the bullet list. We're just there all the time. For the moment, it's going to all change next month.
Yeah. So, but if you want to find us, bullet-list.com.
Yeah. Oh, do go have a look.
That's my job, man. That's my one thing I gotta say at the end of every episode.
And you've got it down pat now. You've practiced that so well. Well done.
I've nailed it.
You have. Well, you can also find us on Facebook with the Bullet List group. Please pop in, come and have a chat. We want your music recommendations, any podcasts you think we should be tracking on FizzPod. Music, yeah. We want to know what music you listen to. We want to create these playlists for people to listen to. That's exciting. Updates of when we go live next will be obviously on the Facebook, the Bullet List group, on the Planner Wire page, and on the Event Planner News page. And obviously, we've also got all of our previous videos, all 31 of them now. Can you imagine 31 videos?
Yeah, I'm gonna cry, man. This is the end of we did it.
Yeah, we did it. So all 31 videos are available on a playlist, which I'll try and put there.
Up there?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there or there. I don't know. I'll put it somewhere. So you can go and have a look at all the previous videos. Please subscribe, hit the bell, because that's what everybody says. And, we'd like your feedback. Thank you, Angela, for all your comments that you've been leaving all 31 days. I don't know. I feel like Party Poppers at a glass of champagne, but right now I could do with something to eat and a cup of tea.
It's still a little early for champagne. It's literally 8:02 in the morning here.
All right. Well, it's 2:00 in the afternoon for me. I don't care.
That would make for a very interesting day.
Yeah, it would. Just don't go on. Yeah, if you go on a video call with a client and you're going, "Hi, oh yes, that's champagne. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm happy."
How does that song lyric go? 100 bad days make 100 good stories.
Yeah. Yep. So there we go.
On that note, anyway, we will see everyone tomorrow because we do kind of have an episode coming up tomorrow.
Are we doing it tomorrow, or are we going to record it and put it out next week?
Oh, let's go live. All right, whatever. You may see us tomorrow. If you see us tomorrow, you see us tomorrow. If not, we're not here.
Well, this is the point. Go to the Planner Wire page. Go to the Event Planner News page. Come into the group. Then you'll know for sure.
All right. Peace out.